the opponent? Was it the second half of the season starting? Was it things that perhaps Rob said? What was it tonight that you got off to a good start?
I think it's a little bit of a carryover from the last two games. The way our mindset and approach has been coming into the game. And I think you saw it again tonight. It was nice to see it at home finally. These guys deserve to win tonight. Great approach.
Jacque, your team pushed the pace tonight, 120 points. How is that benefiting your offense, your team, and specifically Victor?
Well, I think our guys are growing up a little bit and able to handle the basketball and limit our turnovers. That was a problem early on in the year for us, which kind of shied us away from pace. Made a little bit of a commitment and started with the locker room and the guys pushing the basketball and having a determination to create pace.
I think it's the first time, George said, first time in 18 years this franchise has scored 120 in back-to-back games. I mean, you've talked about this year, when the ball goes to the hoop, good things happen with your team. I think you're 11-1 when you score 100. Does your bunch just feed off of when the offense is clicking like this?
Yeah, what was that old, like Seinfeld, Bizarro world a little bit? It's the magic, but it's not the magic kind of thing. So, great effort. And I think overall, you just see it. It's a part of basketball. The ball goes through the hole. And a lot of times that carries over to the other end of the floor. But I thought overall we were committed to both ends of the floor. Even through turnovers and things didn't go right. It wasn't perfect. Basketball's not perfect. But a lot of good things.
With Channing, the last few games his shot hasn't really been falling. Is tonight just a matter of seeing the ball go through the hoop a couple times and then that leads to another one and another one and another one, or just the looks that he was getting?
I think most shooters would say they just need to see that thing go in. And, he had some great looks the last two games. And I think I spoke after Portland saying no confidence was lost in him. I don't think he lost confidence in himself. And you see that tonight. Guys got in the basketball and he shot it.
You talked about kids growing up. Elford was 1 for 7 going into the fourth quarter. Then he makes all 4 of his shots and all 4 of his free throws. You talk about his composure down the stretch.
Yeah, great composure. To be in the right place, to take on the challenge of guarding, be tough and competitive, get a loose ball down the stretch. Growing up.
And kind of speaking of growing up, earlier in the season, you talked a lot about how the team would let mistakes kind of get to them. Lost the lead there in the first half, but you guys kept kind of plugging away. Is that just a confidence in each other that's grown, or just a decision that's been made to play this style and just kind of stick through it? Well, what's changed in the approach that they've had?
It just doesn't happen overnight. There's layers and steps to this as far as getting guys confident in playing, believing in themselves, understanding space. We had to go through that and what driving lanes look like and where to go, and a lot of things that are layered with having 8 new people and different guys in and out of the lineup. So we finally got to a point where we were ready to play with pace, and we've seen we have some sustainability with it also.
Nick faced a much stronger, more physical center tonight than he did the previous 2 games, and yet he was effective again. What did he do well tonight, particularly on the defensive end of the court?
Yeah, he really took the challenge on. I thought he was great in getting Dwight off his spot early on in the game. Dwight had a couple buckets, but overall, Nick's ability to get Dwight off his spot, use his feet, sometimes play in front of him, change the angle of the passing to him, and then sometimes we left him to play one-on-one, and Nick did a heck of a job of stepping up to that challenge.
Coach, we obviously saw those 2 great dunks from Victor, but talk about his passing tonight. Down the stretch, I think he had that one extra pass to Channing for the 3, and then that pass to Vucevic for the and 1. Just talk about what you saw from him in all aspects of his game tonight.
It's the progression of his game. Whether he had the basketball in his hands early in the year, I think that's paying dividend. Putting the ball in his hands down the stretch and making the right decision, whether it was tonight, whether it was having the ball in his hands in Chicago. I think overall he's playing with great confidence and great rhythm right now. And for him, this year was a tough start for him, but I think he's settling into the Vic that we thought he could be.
Everyone good? Okay. 10:45 tomorrow.